Today, I'm going to be building and customizing characters from the How to Train Your Dragon movie. From this basic Lego Toothless to the rest of the cast. So stay tuned, because things are going to get hot. Anyways, Lego. Now, the How to Train Your Dragon movie came out a long time ago, and it's about this guy named Hiccup and how he learned to train his dragon named Toothless, because he has no teeth. And the people from his town don't really like dragons that much, but he tries to get them to. The movie was so popular that they did a second and a third one, and also a TV show. In fact, it was so popular, they're even doing a live action one. So I thought it would be a good idea to recreate every character from the movie in Lego, and at the end, build a giant Lego Toothless that breathes actual fire. And we're gonna start by customizing the main character from the movie, Hiccup Horrendous Haddock. Now for Hiccup, I'm starting with this base figure. This looks nothing like him. This is Prince Charming from Cinderella's Castle, and I thought that this is a good face for him. Obviously, we're gonna have to be tearing it apart, and we don't need the cape, and really all I want from him is going to be the face. So the first thing we're gonna look for is hair. And these are my minifigure parts. I have parts for pretty much everything, including hair. So let's see what's a good hair piece. Too long, too green. Honestly, this could work. We'll try it. What else? Oh, this probably matches the hairstyle. It's just a little on the light side. Is there anything else? Nope, definitely not that. I can see the case for this, but I'm gonna go with the other two. All right, now we're gonna remove this hair, obviously, because it doesn't work. Now, which of these do you think matches him better? This one or this one? Yeah, no, I like the first one better. Yeah, we're going with that. That is from Rex Danger Vest, I believe. Now next we gotta find the torso. Okay, so I plan on covering a lot of it, but this should be good. It has the right hand color and everything, and it's brown. As for pants, we have a lot of color variety, but it's mostly brown with some green highlights. So is there anything in the brown pants section that looks like that? No, that actually looks pretty good. All right, we're gonna take off his cape. I don't think Hiccup liked that very much. Now we're just gonna put on his torso and his legs. Cool, so now we have like a working version of him. Now in the movie, Hiccup actually had a missing foot, specifically a missing right foot. And I think that's because it got bitten off by a dragon or something. I really don't remember, but we have two options in Lego for this. Firstly, the pirate peg leg. And secondly, the prosthetic limb. Firstly, we have the pirate peg leg. And I want to try this on, just to see how it looks. All right, and we're gonna click that in. Okay, that actually doesn't look too bad. Now, the reason I'm concerned about this is because I only have it in this blue color, and it might look a little off-putting, but it would be more accurate. So we'll take the pirate limb off. It's a lot harder than it looks. Okay, now we could just call him, instead of Hiccup, we could call him Hoppy. All right, let's plug this on. There we go. Okay, it doesn't look as bad as I thought it would, but it's not like the most blended in thing in the world. Now he has some pretty padded out armor, and I actually am gonna steal some from my boy Wrecker from Star Wars. Sorry, brother. All right, we're just gonna pop that on. Okay, so there is a version of Hiccup. I actually think I wanna go with the brown peg leg. It matches his hair. Okay, cool. And I actually want to make his face a little more confident. Nice. Now, since Hiccup isn't the most violent character in the movies, I wanted to give him something a little more fun as an accessory. So I got this fish, because, you know, that's what he fed Toothless with when he first met him. And this is my first minifigure of Hiccup Horrendous Haddock, or HHH. I think it's pretty good. But you know, we can't have Hiccup without Toothless, right? Wait a minute, what is that? How to Train Your Dragon box. Oh my gosh, look, is that like Toothless? Whoa, it's a mystery box. I can tell because of the question mark. All right, we're gonna open it up. I don't want to ruin this nice box, so we're gonna try to do it from the back. I don't know where to open it though. I'm just guessing. Is that an Italian brain rot character? Totally didn't use this box in another video. All right, let's get this bad Larry opened. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna reach in and, oh yeah, I think that's definitely gonna be Toothless. Whoa, that's a lot of parts. All right, so we have a Toothless that we have to build apparently that's in all these bags. Oh wow, that's so many parts. So anyway, let's get building. And flying in, we have our Toothless build, and he is so cool. He's got these wings, he's got these cool feet with giant claws on them that are totally not popping off. I'm just gonna fix that right on there. Just let that get on. Yeah, there we go. All right, and he's also got this mouth with a little tongue in there. He's obviously got no teeth because his name's Toothless. And he's also got these green eyes. which would use this really cool piece. And of course, there's an area to sit Hiccup, but we will do that a bit later. Now, as for the rest of him, he's got a giant wingspan, and he looks really, really cute from this angle. On his back, he has like 8 different spikes, which really texture him out, and then he has a fully functioning tail. They can swing literally anywhere. And he's also got, of course, the repaired tail, because one of them got kind of shredded up. And his face is just so adorable. Look at him, he's so cute. Oh my goodness, and he can fly. Look, he's trying to fly. That's so cute. The build mainly uses ball joints to connect the wings to the actual torso, which is nice, because if you use really anything else, it won't be able to structurally work. But now I got him flying. And him flying is actually really cool. Oh, he looks so happy. Now we're gonna be seeing more of him in a bit, because I'm actually gonna have him breathe fire. Like real 100% legit fire and smoke. Might even set off the smoke alarm. But now I wanna try putting Hiccup on. And I ran into an issue. You see, since Hiccup has the little peg leg, it doesn't really have a hole for him to sit down on. So we need to replace it. So I got that leg from earlier from that lady and plugged it in. And that one does have a butthole. So it can connect directly to the seat, and you could fit Hiccup on him just fine. And they actually look really cute together. Now next up is Astrid Hofferson. Now this is the armorer from the Mandalorian TV show, and this is actually a custom minifigure from the company Firestar Toys. And it is also one of my favorite Lego minifigures literally ever. It's super detailed. It has these cool custom molded weapons, as well as this nice fur, and just all these awesome cloth pieces, and even this gorgeous helmet. It has to be by far the nicest minifigure possibly ever, and we're going to be taking it apart, and I'm even going to use this little fur a little bit later on another important character. But we're going to use the rest of this for Astrid, and to start with her, we're actually going to steal part of Elsa. So I just had her let go of her head, because the hair braid really matches the one that she has in the movie, and the armorer's armor already looks pretty darn close to what Astrid had in the movie. So putting these two together makes them look really good. As for her weapon, she was seen carrying a battle axe in the movie, so I gave her this axe, flipped it around, and then attached another axe to it, making it a double-sided battle axe. And now both she and Hiccup can vibe together and fight together with our boy Toothless. Yeah, this is the power squad right here. Our next character is Hiccup's dad, Stoick the Vast. But you might be saying to yourself, hey, isn't that Thor? Well, not anymore. Now for Stoick, the big things he has are his battle axe and his helmet. And obviously his gigantic orange beard. But before we can do all that, I want to texture him out. So we're going to use that armorer's cape from earlier, pile that on, and now we're getting a bit more close to the feel I want him to have. Now in terms of beards, I don't actually have a giant orange beard, which is a bit of an issue. But you know where there may be one? My minifigure parts. All right, where is there an orange beard? Oh, that's perfect. All right, here we got Obi-Wan frickin' Kenobi's head. Cool, that's got an orange beard. And then I also found this buffalo hat. I guess that will substitute as a Viking hat, but he really feels incomplete without his weapon. So let's fix that. All right, so I got this little arrow, and we're gonna clip another one of these battle axes to the end of it, and then we're gonna give it to Stoick, and he can use it to slay dragons. Now Thor also had a hammer, but we're gonna be using that a little bit later. Now I'd say this one looks pretty good. I think it would have looked better with a real looking beard, but there just isn't many options for that. Now our next character is one of the funny characters, Gobber the Belch. Now as his base, I'm using this minifigure who's been a main character in a lot of my videos, because I think he just fits the vibe. And the first thing I have to do is obviously take off his hand, because Gobber doesn't have a normal hand. He has this giant rock one. I guess it was also eaten by a dragon. Back to the minifig parts. So, and we're gonna look at the hand. Ah, that's unique. That's a hook. All right, so with our boy, we're gonna give him a hook. Now he's borderline pirate. Can't remember, does Gobber have a peg leg? I do know I have to take off his hair because that's just not gonna work, but he already has the mustache. I don't have another Viking helmet, so I'm gonna use this kind of barbarian one. It has like a little bone on it. But then for his hand that has the giant rock, I'm taking the Thor hammer out of this little construction. Boom, and we tag that in. So now he has the full-on rock fist, which is cool. Yo, okay, so he does have a peg leg. So we're taking his leg off, and we're gonna use that one we couldn't use on our boy Hiccup. All right, where'd it go? Here it is. All right, awesome. Now we got Gobber the Belch, and we got Stoick the Vast, and we got Hiccup, the boys. But we got more boys, specifically Fishlegs. So first he got him these brown legs, which is fine, and then I actually was gonna use this torso piece, but that's not a good idea. They literally snapped in half. You cannot trust these brown pieces. I mean, look at that. That's what inside a minifigure looks like. I even gave him these arms and everything, but he just snapped. So that's not gonna work. It was perfect too. It was brown and everything. He's a very basic build. Honestly, maybe I could still use him. I like the way the arms can just position like that. All right, maybe we'll still try it. He has a pretty simple face, very chubby guy, and that's kind of hard to capture in Lego. But we got that. And the last piece is from Jane from Thor. And he had a little helmet and blonde hair, so I just thought that would be a perfect fit. Yeah, no, this isn't gonna work. All right, this isn't the best torso, but like, this is literally the only brown thing I had. We'll put the face back on and the helmet. Actually, we could probably take off the arms. I just wanna make sure I don't break the torso this time. Taking off Lego arms on older torsos is very dangerous, I've come to learn. Oh no, it's already cracking. I can't even do it. All right, let's not do that. All right, I guess he has blue arms now. Good job, Fishlegs. Congrats. Now these next two characters are gonna be really easy because it's Tuffnut and Ruffnut. Tuffnut is the boy and Ruffnut is the girl. Now, as bases for these figures, we're using Loki and Girl Loki. So yeah, so we just gotta evict the helmet and the cape. They don't wear those. With this long hairpiece from Lord of the Rings, it's very accurate to the movie. And for Girl Loki, I'm replacing pretty much nothing because I don't know what major improvements I can make. I don't have any Viking helmets, which makes this very difficult. And next I want to make the evil character from the movie, Snotlout. As a base for him, I'm actually going to use Wanda. Obviously, we don't need a lot of this, but he has a very like red, evil looking base. Back to the parts collection. As for hair, this is perfect for him. Face is going to be a little tougher. All right, we're going with this one. Before a cape, no cape would be more perfect than this evil alien one. Oh, this is gonna be great. All right, now the first thing we're doing is obviously going to be taking off this guy's head and stealing his cape. I actually think he looks better without it, to be honest. And then we're going to just pour this sucker on. And then we're gonna put on the face, put on the hair, boom, Snotlout. Snotlout, I'm like 80% sure that's how you pronounce his name. And that's literally all the main characters from the first How to Train Your Dragon movie. Oh yeah, we almost forgot someone. And now that we made all the characters, it's time to make Toothless breathe fire. But first I need to go in the closet and get my trusty dusty smoke machine. And then plug it into my mess of wires. Ugh. And now we just gotta wait for that light to turn red. All right, so we got the red lights pouring down on Toothless, and he's gonna be smoking up a storm soon. And in preparation, we gotta load up our boy Hiccup. Okay, with that said, that's literally all of the characters with the smoke machine. I can barely breathe. Anyways, God bless and stay awesome.